big boost to the civil defense preparations amid tensions with Pakistan. Union Home Ministry has decided to organize civil defense exercise and rehearsals across 244 categorized district on May 7th. But viewers, let's take you through the details when we're talking about that. The fact that MHA has given these directions to several states in terms of the preparations that are set to take place. The pan-India mock drills, when we are talking about that, what exactly are the details? We'll be taking you through all of them. These mock drills are set to take place on May 7th. So the number one measure one is operationalization of air raid warning sirens. Measure number 2 is provision of crash blackout measures. So these are the two measures when we are talking about that. Measure number 1 was air raid sirens, and measure number 3 is training of civilian students, etc., on the civil defense aspects to protect themselves in the event of a hostile attack. And this is set to take place on May 7. This is a direction that has been given to several states. When we're talking about measure number 4, provision for early camouflaging of vital plants and installations, and measure number 5 is updation of evacuation plan and its rehearsals. So several measures that have been, the directions that have been given. Measure number 6 is provision of crash blackout measures. Measure number 7 is provision of early camouflaging of vital plants and installations. So obviously, when we're talking about that, there's another measure number 8 is updation of CD plan and its rehearsal. Measure number 9 is updation of evacuation plan and rehearsal. So those are the several measures that we're talking about for several states. On May 7, these mock drills are set to take place. And measure number 8 is cleaning of bunkers, trenches and more. So these are several of these measures that have been given by Ministry of Home Affairs. These mock drills are set to take place pan-India on May 7th, which is tomorrow. There's no need to panic. This is just direction for the preparedness and to keep people in loop. And this is just a PSA in terms of a public benefit in terms of preparedness when we are talking about that. These pan-India mock drills are set to take place across several states, and these directions were given yesterday. Several measures include, when we're talking about that, this is a big boost to civil defense preparation. It's something that my generation has never seen. The previous generation have seen. It's probably the first time since 1971 we are seeing something like this happen, and something really new. It's unknown to and unheard, and we're not really aware how this goes. So that's why there's nothing for people to be panicked about. It's not something that one needs to be panicked. It's just these measures need to be kept in mind. We have with us Major General Anuj Mathur, defense expert, joining us on the telecast. Major General Anuj Mathur, when we are talking about these measures that have been given, these directions that have been given by Ministry of Home Affairs, it's something that my generation is not aware of. My parents' generation and the previous generation, they are aware of this. So how does these measures are taking place? How does one go about them? If you could share details regarding them.
See, the issue is very simple. You know, what happens is whenever there is a conflict, in the conflict there are the army fights, armed forces are fighting, but it has a very large impact on the public at large. More importantly, in the border areas where the physical fight is going on, see, there are many things that will happen. There will be devastation, there will be bombardments, because of which there will be infrastructure breakings, and also the civil public has a very important role to play. Civil defense has a very, very important role to play in any conflict, any battle. You know, there will be requirement of railway, there will be requirement of transport, there will be requirement of manpower, there will be requirement of hospitals, medical services, and many other things. And all these things, Riya, you'll be surprised, they are all already, you know, thought of, and there are drills existing. Now, what happens is, now since you've already said, Riya, that your generation has not seen, So what happens is, because we generally are not wanting a war and we are sure that a war is unlikely to take place, we don't go over these drills. So we have, quite rightly, we have not gone over such drills for last 30 years. So now is the time, because war clouds are looming large. So there is a short requirement of telling people what it means, then what is expected of them, what must they do to save themselves, their properties, and what if there is an attack, or there is a shelling in their area, how must they respond? So there is this kind of a requirement is very important. And in fact, my view is that we should always continue to do this kind of drills in our system. However, in the same breath, I would like to tell you, there is no need to panic. There is no panic button which the government has pressed. There is no need to panic for the public. It is just a rehearsal. It is just a drill, and it is just updating the data. I'll give you one small example, Ria. The example is that for a lot of things you require, say, for example, manpower. So there are lists which are prepared and kept in the areas where this manpower is likely to be required, and that list need to be updated. Their telephone numbers are existing, so that these people will be contacted in case there is a requirement, and then they are requisitioned, and then they are employed for certain jobs. This kind of thing needs to be updated. The civil administration should be ready to receive casualties, ready to receive, there'll be a backward movement of refugees. There are so many things that the conflict will bring along, and for all those things, the system should be ready. And these rehearsals are meant only for that. There is no need, Ria, for any panic. The war has not begun. It is just that the government wants people to be ready for any eventuality.